Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hustling Sideways podcast. I'm Alan Hallis. I'm a music writer.
And I'm Jim Love, and I'm a keynote and motivational speaker, and we are back.
We are
Here we
back. This is the Hustling Sideways podcast. We had a couple of weeks there where we were a little busy. Life just
are.
kind of finds a way. But we are
Yes, and I
back.
lost my key to Alan's house, so I'm just at home now.
That
That's
is
it.
true.
Can't find me.
Yeah. No, we there's a lot of construction. Jim couldn't, find his way here. No, actually Jim is in the middle of like back to back to back to back meetings,
Having
which
wild
me,
times. Good to go.
yeah,
Yes, we're set.
which
No, but
me
it's
with
good.
my like lazy music writer lifestyle, I just want to like hang out and watch bands. I don't
Alan's
think
been
I could do
sleeping
back to
until 10
back.
every morning, and he's just yes, it's back to teenage years.
I wish I could sleep
I
until
know.
any
Yeah,
time
no
at
way.
all, but yeah, no. We have a great guest here today on the show that is here to talk about her side hustle turned full-time job. We are here with author Margaret Beeler, and she is checking in. So welcome to the podcast today, Margaret. We don't have
Yeah,
an applause track. We just make
yay!
Right.
noise. Yeah, there we go.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yes,
You're welcome.
for
Marquette
sure.
alum, very cool. I wore my Marquette
I
sweater.
was gonna say we spy something nice there. There you go.
There we
There
Excellent.
we go.
go.
Margaret, where are you calling in from today? Where are you at?
Yeah, so I actually live in Cincinnati, Ohio now.
Awesome.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
trying to
I love
think. So Jim and I used to try and keep track of if we had guests from every state. And I think we've had Ohio before, but I could not tell you
You know
honestly at
what?
this
Let's
point.
just pretend like we haven't. Well,
She's
And
the
this is
first.
fun.
Look
Woo!
at that. She's the
Yippee!
first.
yep, that's it.
She's the
Sounds good to
first.
me. In the best city in Ohio too, so
There you
there we
go.
go.
Are you
There we
from?
go.
What is your background like? Are you from Ohio, or
No, I'm actually from the Chicago area, as is like every single other person that went to Marquette.
So is
And
Jim.
yeah,
that's right.
the Chicago quote unquote area.
I'm actually from the city, and I pride myself on that one.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not from the city. I'm actually from even like more annoying of me to say I'm from Chicago. I'm from Michigan City, Indiana.
Oh, you're not even from the state of Illinois, Margaret. Oh no.
I
Oh
know. Yeah,
no.
I make it like really fun for everyone to guess.
That's hilarious. Although I would probably say the same thing if I were you, so I can't blame you for
It's
that.
close enough. It's
That's
like
right.
There you
you
go.
always just say like the biggest city that you're by, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Okay, so
Jim,
born and raised there? That's the
in
vibe?
yeah, Michigan City, yeah.
Okay, very
Jim,
nice.
I also grew up in Milwaukee, so I'm from the Chicago area
Of
too.
course, it's a
Pretty
northern
nice.
suburb. Yeah, basically.
It's
Yeah,
a suburb.
that's
It's a
good.
suburb. Tell us a little bit about your background and obviously, pre-Marquette, like
Yeah.
were you somebody that was always interested in writing and is that kind of been
Yeah.
your main focus? Were you a good English student?
Yeah. So I actually started writing my first novel that I published in 2021 when I was 12.
Oh
Um,
wow.
so I've kind of always had that writing passion, and I didn't really realize I could do anything with it until I was like 16, 17, when a mentor came over and was like, "Hey, you should publish this." And I was like, "Really? Think?" So then I started like looking into options, and I've kind of always been like the person that doesn't like to be told what to do ever, and is very like headstrong, bullish type person. So I was like, self-publishing is great for me. I'm gonna, figure out how to do this myself. I don't want to deal with any of the gatekeepers. I also
Mhm,
had, the thought in my head, I'm like, self-publishing, you have a little bit more flexibility and freedoms with what you can do in terms of like both the financial aspects and also the creative aspects. So
mhm,
I really started
Hmm.
getting into that when I was in my like late teens, early 20s. And then I ultimately published that first book in 2021 when I was 21.
mhm.
Then graduated Marquette, got a little robotic sales job out of school, figured out that, I also didn't like being told what to do in a job setting. So I was like, okay, well, maybe this corporate stuff isn't for me, but really love like, the sales aspect. And then I kind of came back to like my business has always been there, but I was like, okay, well, maybe I can figure out a way to like make this work full time because the passion's there, the money's kind of there. And I
Mhm.
took a leap of faith in March and have been doing that since.
Wow,
Amazing.
very cool.
You know,
I
I,
have tons of
what,
questions. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah, that
let
was
me
like
start
a
off.
really like that was
We're
a
ready.
very like quick
I
high
love it.
level overview. I have 10 plus books now, so that's like
Oh, amazing.
very
Amazing.
overview, very like quick overview.
So
But
I feel like I've heard horror stories of people that try to send their stories to publishers and they get a million no's, and you got a
yeah,
yes when you were 12. Like how did that? What a confidence booster that had to be. Like,
yeah, right. I know. I like that's why I was like, I just don't want to like wait. I'm not like a waiter.
yeah,
I'm very like
go do it.
I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna do it now.
For
And
sure.
I feel like that's kind of like if you like I feel like entrepreneurs just know they're entrepreneurs when they have like those things. And I kind of like recently in the past few months have been like identifying that a little bit more. People are like, how do you know you wanted to be an entrepreneur? And I'm like, well, I don't wait for things. I'm very like bullheaded and I don't like being told what to do and I'm gonna do what I want. So that's like always like the entrepreneur mindset is like, I'm gonna get this done. I don't care. No one's stopping me. Like this is happening.
Totally, totally. You kind of
For
have to
sure.
be, right? Like, I mean, you're up
Yeah.
against, especially when you're doing things that like are, let's call it like abnormal in terms of trying to like a career path, and it's like you
Yeah.
just got to get it done. Like, we'll find a way to make it work. I've
Yeah.
actually find myself constantly like something maybe will go awry, and I'm like, all right, that happened. So what are we gonna do about it? Versus
Yeah.
people are like, oh, that sucks. Like, let's, like, well, how do like? I'm like, okay, guys, like that's over. So like,
Yeah.
what's the next thing? Like, tell me what the
Yeah.
next thing
It
is.
was kind of like, I don't know if you guys have read the article on having like high agency. It's a really good
Mhm.
article. It's like basically like there's two types of people, and if you fall in this one bucket, you're probably more likely to become like, a startup or like a business owner or some sort of like entrepreneur thing. It's like you're gonna find a way. Nothing
Mm.
is gonna stop you. And then obviously there's
Mm.
like it's interesting. You should read that if you haven't read it. It's a great article. It's called High Agency in 30 Minutes. It's a great read.
Okay. I feel like all of us probably have that very similar trait as well as a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
listeners too that have their own businesses as well.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in, so you said you wrote it at 12, you published at 16, 17 around there?
Published it when I was 21.
Oh, published at
No,
21. Okay.
I published it when I was 20. 20.
Okay. Sure.
That's a while.
Um, so I guess writing came naturally to you, right? But having that body of work and having that, that 12-year-old, I mean, there's so much that happens from 12 to 20.
Oh
How
yeah.
much did you have to go back and edit when you had that first book and
Yeah.
say, oh my God, a 12-year-old wrote this,
Yeah.
and now have to,
Oh my God.
fix
So
and
much. I
yeah.
I actually still have the first draft too, and it's in my room in my apartment here. I should have brought it over so you could show it. Yeah,
We don't believe you.
I hand wrote the whole thing and it
Oh
went
my goodness.
15 different drafts before it was final. And obviously across the years, as I was like growing and learning more about not only like writing and storytelling, like grammar, just like growing as a person, I learned a lot. So I was able to like make different iterations. And it's fun to like look back on the different drafts and kind of see where I was at in life versus like where the manuscript was at. And yeah, it went through 15 different drafts, and I wasn't really necessarily writing that whole time, like 12 to 21 or to 20, sorry. I was like, I took breaks and stuff, so I would come back
Hmm.
and there was like, I don't know, I couldn't let it go. I just always kept coming back to it.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
Sure. And that's probably how you knew that you had something too, is that you were like, this is strong enough that I believe in it kind of thing.
yeah,
That,
yeah,
yeah. I
yeah,
always ask this of bands when they put out an album because I feel like this is kind of in that similar bucket. Was there more like excitement once you put that out? Like, oh my goodness, this thing is out in the world now? Or was it the like a little bit of anxiety of like, here's this piece of me that I'm throwing out to the world.
yeah.
Hopefully someone likes it.
Definitely a mix of both. I mean, excitement because I had been working on it for 9 years. So I was like, oh my gosh, like it's finally coming to like fruition. And it was just crazy to like, hold the thing after 9 years. It just
Hmm.
kind of felt like it was never going to happen at some points. And then obviously there was the anxiety of like, oh my gosh, I'm sharing this like crazy thing that I'd been working on for 9 years that like everyone knew I had been working on for 9 years. So there was a lot of like, oh my gosh, what if it's really bad?
Sure.
But it ended up being well received and over 100 reviews on Amazon. And the second
Wow.
book is it took me a while to get to the second book because I was doing a bunch of other writing projects, but the second book
Hmm.
is now basically out too. So yeah, it's a
What is now, so writing process for you? You think about this topic. Are you like taking a note card, writing down what's on your mind? Are you starting to type? What is the first thing when you sit down to have a book idea for you?
Yeah, usually when I get my book ideas, it's like a random scene in the middle of the book, honestly.
Oh,
Okay.
So there's
interesting.
like two types of writers there that are pretty widely recognized in the writing community. There's plotters and there's pantsers. So plotters are people who like to just like kind of linearly plan out the entire book before they go into it and have
Hmm.
like, an outline and everything. And then the pantsers are kind of people who just are like, I'm just jumping in, like kind of more like the chaotic ADHD people is what I would describe them as, which is what I am.
Hmm.
It's like I have this idea, I have literally no idea what's happening before or after it, but we're gonna figure it out. And they just kind of like write scenes as they come. That's how
Uh,
I am. And it takes me a little bit longer to write because of that, because I kind of just like I'll have a scene in my head and I'm like, oh, these characters are here. I have no idea how they got here, but that's like the fun part for me because it's a little bit like a puzzle. Like you have this
mhm.
like, you have these different scenes in it and you kind of like piece together what's happening around them and then eventually you get the beginning and the end. Like I think I wrote the beginning of the book last and I wrote the end of the book in like the middle of the book. Like it's just yeah,
Wow.
writing process
Yeah.
is like all over the place, but it
So
works.
it's not even, yeah, it's not even like writing or working backwards. It's like writing sideways.
Right?
It
Yeah.
Yeah,
kind of goes,
literally.
yeah.
Literally writing sideways. Yeah.
Are you shifting? Like I can imagine, like you wrote like the beginning, like later. Like, are you like, oh wow, I have to like try to connect these dots,
Yep.
like throughout? That's
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like
that.
constantly editing and changing things to make sure that they fit. Because yeah, actually, like with the second book of Sacred, which is my book series, I had like this like middle scene, which the characters were like in giant worm tunnels underground. And I was like, I have no idea why they're in the worm tunnels underground, but we're gonna figure it out because I like this scene and I'm gonna make it fit. And
I
it
love
ended up
that.
being one of my favorite scenes. So
I'm also trying to figure out now mentally if I'm a plotter or a planner. I've definitely been called a plotter before, but that
Yeah.
was not related to writing.
yeah,
Um,
a
I have
plot
to
or
ask,
a pantser, a pantser.
Answer.
oh,
Yes.
You
okay.
write by
That's
the
what I
seat
am
of your
for
pants.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to ask too because so you're doing these as physical books, right? As well. How do you go about like getting, I mean, I wouldn't even know the first place to start, but
Yeah.
finding a publisher that is going to make this that isn't like a traditional publishing company, I would assume then, right? Where they want to
Yeah.
have their piece of the pie.
Mm,
Like you need
yeah.
to have somebody that essentially just manufactures the book for you.
Yep. So this is actually a lot more straightforward than people think. There's things called print on demand printers who essentially like they will print books as orders come.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can just like put you just buy an ISBN and you register the ISBN with them, which ISBNs are like identification numbers for
Yeah.
people don't know that.
Hmm. Okay.
But then you just register the ISBN on their website. So the printer that I use is actually called Ingram Spark, which is the printer that most authors actually use and most big publishing houses actually use too, because they just print books on the daily.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
yeah, you just register your book with them and you order copies and they automatically distribute it to their network of bookstores. So bookstores can order the books too. And then it also works with Amazon too. So they'll show up on like everything. It's
Oh,
like
that's awesome.
actually very straightfortard. People think it's
That's
a
it.
monster, which is
A
like
million.
kind of like I hate spoiling. It's like learning what the magic trick is. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what it is. Okay, well, that's not as like cool as that,
Yeah.
whatever.
That's it,
But
Jim.
not
We're
to like
writing a
diminish
book.
it. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. This is
Jim,
way
we're
easier
gonna
than I
write a
thought.
book.
I
I don't
like
know
that.
what it's gonna be on, but you know what? Hey, we're gonna start in the middle and we'll
you
work
could.
our way
That's
around
right.
it.
That's right.
Exactly.
Is the in terms of like the writing community, is it a really supportive one? Is it a competitive one? What's the experience like?
It's super supportive. I mean, there's like unless you're like at an event that's like a ton of off like unless you're like at like a book fair where there's like people buying a limited amount of books, like there's literally
Hmm.
no competition among authors at
Wow,
all because there's
that's
an
great.
infinite number of like if someone likes a genre they're going to read as much as they can in that genre. There's no
Yeah.
I'm only reading this one author and never this, like it's not like that. If you like think about it as a reader, you're literally like constantly consuming books and there's
Hmm.
no like limit to the amount of books that you're going to consume.
Hmm.
So I see virtually no competition to anyone. I actually see the community more as like a rising tide lifts all boat. Yeah, that's the same. Rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
when one genre is doing very well, everyone in that genre is doing very well.
Hmm.
And there's always room for like collaborations and helping each other out. Like I'm honestly like the first person to be like, I want to like help other authors out because it helps me out. Like if young adult fantasy is doing well, I'm doing well. Or if like,
Hmm.
like comp titles, like I don't think there's any competition. There shouldn't be. If people see it as a competition thing, they're probably in the wrong industry. You're not going to do
Sure.
very
Okay.
well. But yeah,
Okay.
I don't see it as competition. I see it as a very like helping, very community oriented industry.
I think
And
that's
Sure.
important.
in my
Yeah.
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 I feel
Um,
like that happens a lot. Like a lot of folks that are like within a pretty niche community. I find that answer typically be supportive. Like I feel like
Yeah.
humans want to help humans when it comes to having a passion. Like that's
Yeah.
a good place to be. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And especially author community is super supportive.
yeah.
Hmm.
I want to talk about a little bit about promoting the book too. Once that thing is out there, how did you kind of get the word out? I know like TikTok, there's book talk is a thing. I am very much a novice to that. I don't know that
Yeah.
world, but I
Yeah.
know that book talk exists, that people like get into reading through TikTok from that. But
Yeah.
what was your big way of like telling people that you created a book?
Yeah. I mean, I did a lot of social media when I was like leading up to it. I think my biggest thing now is my newsletter, which I've kind of curated to a point where it's like mostly all people who are like actually buying from me.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But like right now, the largest way, so it's kind of interesting because I have two almost different like genres of books that I'm promoting that do well in very different ways. So I have
Hmm.
my young adult fantasy books, which don't do as well on social media and that kind of promo because that's not really where my audience is hanging out.
Okay.
They do fabulous in in-person events. I sell like dozens of copies and make almost like four figures in sales with them in person. And I
Wow.
do in-person events every weekend if I can.
Hmm.
So I pivoted away from social media with the young adult fantasy books because they just haven't shown as much return in that aspect. But I have this cocktail and mocktail brand called Trope Tales, which is like, I guess, nonfiction that I also have that does insanely well, like online retail sales. I run ads to it and I post about that. That does very well online. It doesn't do as well in person.
Okay.
Really interesting. So I've found
Yeah.
out like these two different things do better in different settings. Um, but yeah, I would say like the young adult fantasy I do really well in person and push a lot of like in-person marketing and try and get out in the streets, I guess you can say, as much as possible with that. And then the cocktail and mocktail recipe book I run ads to now, and the ads have been working well. I had a bit of a weird lull period in July and August, so I'm reassessing the ads, but they have proven to be very successful in that regard. But
Sure.
newsletter is
So
always number one.
sure. So cocktail and mocktail brand as well. How did that kind of come about? Is that just a side hustle to the thing of
Yeah.
having
Well,
this?
it's all kind of under the same umbrella, because they're all
Hmm.
books. But yeah, I had this idea last year to combine kind of my passion for reading with it feels weird to say passion for mixology. I promise I'm not an alcoholic. But like, I found it fascinating and I saw a bit of like a gap in the industry where there wasn't like I don't know, there's people like to drink, people like fun cocktails and fun like coffee table books. Me especially, I love a good coffee table book. So I was like, okay, how do I combine my two passions of reading and like fun, weird, quirky things? So I created this cocktail and mocktail recipe brand called Trope Tales, and every page is based off a popular theme or trope and genres across fiction.
Okay.
So
Nice.
Interesting.
yeah, that's
So
what that is. And
we
it's
will drink to that.
yeah, and it's been very fun. That's actually been like my number one seller recently, and I am expanding that brand into the CPG space with instant powder drink mixes.
Oh,
Oh
sweet.
wow. Wow.
That's growing
To
rapid.
have that like kind of foresight too of being like, well, this can be this, and then you can have the drink mix on top of it. Like
Yep, exactly.
I
It's
wish,
taking
Jim,
a
I
guy.
wish I was this motivated.
I know.
It's
That's
a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I work pretty much until 11 p.m. every night, but it's all fun.
I was gonna
awful.
say that was my next question was, you know, normally we talk about people that balance their 9 to 5 with their side
Yeah.
hustle. How do you find time for it all? And if you're somebody that is, you know, like you said, ADHD makes it work
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
middle out, how do you organize your day?
Yeah, I mean, I get up at like 8 every day and I work. I work until obviously I eat lunch and then I'll go to the gym around like 5, come
Hmm.
back, make dinner, and then work again. And I just kind of like fit other things in there. Like I'm going to hang out with some friends after this at a happy hour, but I'm bringing my laptop just in case. You never know.
Oh yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think the ADHD thing kind of plays into it a lot because I'm very quick to like adjust and like move in like chaotic situations. So it's like I do very well under stress and I also like really enjoy what I'm doing. So I'm like not
Hmm.
opposed to working late hours, but I do
Mhm.
have to have like mental check-ins like, hey, why don't you go play Fortnite now? Like you've been working all day. Like you deserve to stop working at 9 p.m.
Yes.
There
I
is
Yeah.
not
think.
really much balance right now because I'm really trying to make things move. Um,
Hmm.
and I think that ultimately, like, sometimes you need to put in more hours and like stuff in the beginning when you want to like get things off the ground.
Hmm.
But I've never been at a point where I'm like, oh, I hate work. I hate this. Like, it's always like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Like, I get to do this, 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 and this. Like, all these things are really fun and exciting. And it's kind of like, I don't know, it's addicting. It's like I am so
Hmm.
excited to like see what works. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like good.
And that's how you know you're an entrepreneur, though, or and that you're in the right space, right? Like
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
so excited that you want to do something to the point that like you don't get tired from it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Hmm.
I've been running a website for 10 years. Jim has been speaking for 10 years ish
Yeah.
now,
That's right. Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
and like there's no wanting to give that up. That's how you know
Yeah.
that you're in that right space is that you're so motivated that it is like the thing that you just love doing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great to
It's
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do. I think that
Yeah.
like that's where your vocation calls you, is to be in a place where you enjoy it. And yeah, if you get tired of it, it's probably not the right thing for you.
Yeah.
That's,
I
Yeah.
know it. Yeah, it's crazy. I love it.
hmm.
So, what is like the immediate next thing then? Because you said there's so a book out and then the cocktail and mocktail book out. What's the next thing that you're working on, or is it like seven? Because it sounds like it's like
Yeah.
seven.
There are like it is like 7 things. I'm working on a children's book, a romance book, a journal for my cocktail book, the instant powder drink. I mean, there's just so many things. But like the holiday edition of Trope Tales, there's so many. It's like I think I have like at least 10 projects. It's kind of insane. And I just kind of like pick away at each one, you know,
Yeah.
as it
Yeah.
comes. Like right now I'm putting together like a fun little like just kind of like trying to create upsells for my
Hmm.
or like add-ons for add-on and upsell, I guess you could say, for my Trope Tales book. So I came up with like a little like drink tracker, book
Mm.
tracker, like journal thing that you can like buy with the book to like track which drinks you're making or whatever. And that's something that I put together today. And then I'm releasing the next big launch will be at the end of next month when I launch my powder mixes for Trope Tales. So,
Okay.
and that will be on Kickstarter.
Awesome.
There
Pretty
you go.
exciting.
When
Yeah.
people ask you, what do you do when you meet them at a networking event? Like,
Dude, I don't even,
what's your answer to that question?
well, it's just funny because it's so like people don't really like understand what I'm doing until they like start to talk to me and they're like, "Oh shit, like I didn't realize you were doing like all of that." Because I'll
Yeah.
usually just be like, "Oh, I'm an author." And they're like, "Okay, cool." I don't really
Yeah.
care. And I'm
Like,
like,
great.
"That's fine. You don't have to care now, but when you see me on the Forbes list
Then
soon,
you will
like,
care. You'll
oh,
care.
that's her." But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like I just it's hard to explain and it is very tiring to explain because I'm like, I don't know, I'm an author, but I'm also in CPG space and like doing all this other random stuff.
For
So
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
That's so cool though. And you have like this magic mix of like left brain analytical and like right brain creative, which is like harness the hell out of that because that is not easy to come across.
Yeah.
Analytical is a bit of a stretch, but I appreciate the comment.
Oh, just I mean like even from talking to you though, you're like knowing the business side of it, which was like something that took me forever to figure out. I
Yeah.
didn't know how to make money off of my own thing for a very
Yeah.
long time. And like I can tell that whatever you studied at Marquette, there was some business involvement with that too.
Yeah, there was.
That that you were able to like figure out how to make this thing work logistically
Yeah.
too, which is not easy to do. So
Shout out to Professor Jess Ogilvy of the sales program. She's
Mhm.
great to talk to about relational sales, which is exactly what I built my business on. And that's, yeah, that's like the number one key of my business, relational sales. Let's do that. It's very important.
very
That's
cool.
awesome. Do
Well,
you have a
if
favorite
uh,
favorite genre to
Yeah.
write and favorite one to read?
Oh
Would you
yeah, this is interesting because I
Yeah.
write young adult fantasy,
Yeah.
which I love.
Yeah.
But my favorite genre to read is actually thrillers and horror.
Oh, okay.
uh,
Okay. It
hmm,
Yeah,
gets
the
the
very
people
opposite.
going.
I
Yeah,
don't read any fantasy actually, because I don't know, I kind of like live and breathe in my own world, and
that makes
I don't
sense.
have space for any other worlds. I'm sorry if anyone's a fantasy reader.
That's all I got. Yeah, that's great.
hey, that's how you know though that you're not like ripping anybody off because you're like, well, I don't read it,
Yeah, I
so
don't.
how could
I
I?
really
You
don't
know?
read any fantasy. It's kind of weird. Yeah.
So very cool though. If people wanted to find more of you, follow you, and see what see
Yeah.
what some of these books are about,
Yes, of
or get
course.
some cocktails and mocktails and
Yes.
powdered drinks and all of these exciting
Oh
things,
my gosh,
where's the
yes.
best place to go ahead and find you?
MargaretCBeeler.com is my website that has everything on it. But then if you want to like look at Trope Tales specifically, I have a different website for Trope Tales, which is just TROPETAILS.com, tropetales.com. So MargaretCBeeler.com and tropetales.com because I haven't consolidated it.
That's all right.
It'll work.
Let it be its own thing. It's
Yeah.
great.
That's great.
So. Well, thank you so much for coming on and doing this.
Yeah,
And
thank you guys.
we got some fantasies to read. We got
Yes,
some cocktails and mocktails for us to drink.
yes, of
Jim, I think
course.
we should buy a cocktail and mocktail book. And
You
then
know I'm
like
in
we
for
should just do an episode where we're just trying them.
I
Where
would
Yes,
we're
love
just
that. I
making
would
a bunch
also
of them.
participate as well if you want to
of
have
course.
that.
Yeah.
There we
I'll do the
go.
cocktails. You guys do the mocktails.
Yeah, well, no, I'll join you in the cocktails. It's
All
gonna be a
right, fair
real
enough.
interesting episode. It's gonna be a
Oh
fun
my
one.
gosh, yay.
So, well, thank you for being on the show. Everybody
Thank-
that's listening, we are the Hustling Sideways podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. We're also on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, TikTok, all of the places. We're on LinkedIn. So, wherever you want to connect with us, you can do that. If you want to be a guest on the show, you want to be here in this room with Jim and I, or if you want to be virtual, we can do that as well, obviously. You can send us an email. It is hustlingsideways@gmail.com. And Jim,
Keep on hustling.
we'll see you next week.
Peace.